basically they had been working on creating a Jewish homeland there for decades. And in 47, when the British basically got out of there because the Jews had become terrorists and basically drove them out of Palestine, they kicked it over to the United Nations, which was brand new. Yeah. And the United Nations was like, well, why don't we divide up the land? Like they made a recommendation. Right. It wasn't like the General Assembly had no authority to just like carve up countries, but they were like, this is what we recommend. And they recommended that the Jews get 56% of the land and the Arabs get 44% of the land. And that was really not based on anything. I think Jews owned like 10% of the land at the time or something like that. So the Arabs were like, no, this is ridiculous. Like, this has been our home for hundreds of years, thousands of years. Yeah. Like, no, we're not giving them the majority. And then a civil war broke out, and about 750,000 Palestinians were kicked out and never allowed back in. And those are the people who are in Gaza and the West Bank to this day, or the children and grandchildren of them. Yeah. Some of them are in Jordan and Lebanon and stuff. And so, like this, and then the neighboring Arab countries attacked. They fought a war. They fought a war again in the 50s. They fought a war again in the 60s. They fought a war again in the 70s. I mean, it was like there were major problems that came along, and it's a very rich history with a lot of, you know, this side's story or this side's story, but you could at least grant that, unlike what Ben Shapiro and Dennis Prager say in their videos, no, there is a Palestinian side to this story where, like, a lot of those people were genuinely wrong.